What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva and knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm going to always serve you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Big ups to all of my subscribers, to my sippers. I see all of y'all as family. Thank y'all for still being supportive of my brand and my movement. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you for still being loyal to my channel. So, with no further ado, I want to get into tonight's topic. I know it's been a while since y'all have heard me do an upload, but it was my birthday this weekend. I turned a big 4-1 or whatever. So anyway, I had to go out of town to spend some time with my husband and everything. So, I think it's important that everybody, especially if you work hard, you definitely need to take some time out for yourself, with your family. It's very important that you give yourself that amount of time to just be able to just woosah and just get away from it all. So that's what I did for the weekend. So I enjoyed myself. I had a good time. But of course, I know that I'm way overdue for some uploads. So I definitely want to go ahead and get into tonight's topic. I want to talk about your boy Floyd Mayweather's daughter, Yaya, expecting from a better male. So if y'all haven't heard, the latest, Floyd Mayweather's daughter is going to be a mother. If y'all haven't been keeping up with what's been going on with the Mayweathers, well, just in 2020 of April, Mrs. Ayana Mayweather, the daughter of boxer Floyd Mayweather, was arrested, basically for alleged aggravated assault for attacking another female who supposedly she caught in NBA Young Boys, which is the young man she's supposed to be expecting from. And basically, I guess she popped up to his crib and found his bra there, which so happens to also be the mother of one of his children, because he has several children from other women. And she was one of the baby mamas that was there. And of course, somehow, some way she found out about it. So she went over there, popped up over there and got into a physical altercation, claimed it was self-defense. There's still no proof of that it was self-defense. And basically, she stabbed a lady by the name of LaPatria Lachey Jacobs, and it turned very violent, prompting law enforcement to show up to the rapper's home. And of course, they arrested Yaya, which we haven't heard much anything about it. This happened, like I said, back in April of 2020. Hasn't been spoken on, so I don't know if the father paid the judge off, or if he had got a top-notch lawyer, because we all know that Floyd Mayweather is very financially well off. He's definitely a millionaire, could be a billionaire for all I know. I don't know. But we haven't heard anything about the case, so we don't know if they possibly paid the girl off. There's no telling how that went. When people have money, they have all kind of ways of getting around things. So her bond was 30,000, and that's like $5 basically to her father, because he's basically sits on money, he lives on money, you know what I'm saying? So Floyd Mayweather is money. So most likely, she probably done got off, or they probably paid the girl off. Money talks at the end of the day. But nevertheless, the incident was very ugly. The young lady could have died behind it. Fortunately, it didn't escalate to that level, but it was a very, very ugly situation. And all this did was give NBA Young Boy even more clout than what he already has. He's one of those young men. He's very cocky. He's very obnoxious. And just like her father, Floyd Mayweather, this young man is also a millionaire. He's also very well off. He's just getting into the prime of his career. And, he's, like I said, he's very well off, and he's very egotistical, and he's very cocky. I've seen a couple of his interviews. He's pretty much a lot like her father, Floyd Mayweather, which is the reason why I'm doing this content. Because what a lot of men have to understand is that you are your daughter's first love. And as crazy as this may sound, but if you really pay attention to it, it makes sense to you where I'm coming from. A father is his daughter's first husband. And I don't mean that in an incestuous type of way, because I've made this statement before, and I had a couple of guys like, "Why? What do you mean by that? How am I my daughter's first husband?" Well, really, you are. Um, your you are the first male figure that she's going to lay her eyes on from the day that your her mother gives birth to you and you hold your baby girl in your arms. You are the first man that she's going to see from the day she enters this world. And from that point on, whatever you have shown her, based on what you perceive as to be a man, whatever characteristics you have displayed in front of her, whatever behaviors you have displayed in front of her, if you were an abusive type of dude, if you were a very obnoxious type of guy, whatever negative character traits that you have as a man, if you display those character traits in front of your daughter, she is going to define men based on how you carry yourself as a man, based on how you carry yourself as a husband to her mother, based on how you carry yourself as a father to her, as her being your daughter. Basically, all daughters make the majority of their decisions based on the type of men who are their fathers, the men who was in their lives that had a lot to do with their upbringing. So basically what I'm insinuating is y'all's choice in choosing NBA young boy has a lot to do with how she has witnessed and observed how her father has treated women over the years. Anybody who knows Floyd Mayweather knows that he's always been a very cocky, arrogant type of guy. And of course, I have to give respect where it's due. He's a very successful boxer. He's been undefeated. He's definitely pulled his weight. He's definitely um, had to climb a lot of obstacles to get to where he is. A lot of men within his age frame, especially a lot of black men, will never ever be able to reach the level of success that Floyd Mayweather has, and that within itself is a major accomplishment. However, even though he may be successful in his lifestyle as far as being a boxer or a champion, he does not have that same level of success when it comes to women. Now, all of us know Floyd Mayweather has a history of never being in a stable relationship for a significant amount of time. Even all of the women who he has had children from, I believe he has 3 baby mamas. I believe I'm gonna double check on that because I don't like to give the wrong information. So looking at that, Floyd Mayweather. So let me check into that. But we do know he has more than one baby mama. So Floyd Mayweather has a reputation for juggling women. He's always been a player. We've never known him to be married to any of them. He's never married any woman, as far as I know. He's also been in relationships with other women he hasn't been able to have children from, like Sheree, like I think her name is Sheree Jackson. She's currently with the rapper Nelly. They was together for a very long time. A matter of fact, he paid for a lot of the surgery that was done to her body. And unfortunately, it got to the point to where, Floyd Mayweather's money wasn't enough to make her want to stay in a miserable ass relationship with them. Because basically, when you're with a man that has a lot of money, it's a lot of shit you got to put up with. It's a lot of stuff you got to go through, because you'll never be the main prima donna. It's going to always be other women that's more prettier than you, that can, got can contribute better head game than you, who can give better sex than you. It's going to always be somebody better. So when you meet a man that's in that type of limelight, in that type of profession, he's going to always have a lot of options. And the moment he gets sick of you, or the moment he can't have his way with you, he's going to discard you and get with the next chick, and that's basically, how it's been with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is not a good boyfriend. He's not husband material. He may be a great provider. I'm sure of that. I'm sure any woman who gets with him, she's not going to want for anything. But other than that, if she wants a committed relationship, she's talking about looking for something long term. You're not going to get that from Floyd Mayweather, at least no time soon. I'm sure probably by the time, he gets tired of, just laying with all type of females. He gets tired of females just using him or just wanting to get with him because of what he has. He may get to that point as he get older. He may damn near be 80, but he may finally get to that point to where he's tired of juggling all type of women, and he's been ran through. He may get to a point to where he may hit the wall and be like, you know what, I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to be somebody's husband. I'm tired of picking up all these females and paying for their surgeries to get done, paying for, breast enlargements and liposuctions, all for them to give the next dude, you know what I mean, that haven't invested half as much money as I have. So he may get to that point, but doesn't like any time soon. So anyway, back to my point, as I was stating, y'all has seen her father juggle women predominantly, I'm sure the majority of her life, because of who he is. Like I said, a man of that status, a man that makes that much money, he's not going to settle down with no one woman. And of course, he didn't settle down with her mother. Evidently, he never married Y'all's mother. So she was just another baby mom in the bunch. So I'm sure Y'all has witnessed her father juggling different type of women. Not only has Y'all witnessed her father juggle all type of women. Now look at the similarities. NBA Youngboy is known to juggle a lot of women. This is another similarity. Just like Floyd Mayweather has more than one baby mama, so does NBA Youngboy. So does NBA Youngboy. He also has more than one baby mama. Okay. So if you see the similarities here, which is why evidently she didn't see nothing wrong with getting pregnant from NBA Youngboy, who has other children from other women. Hell, her father did it. Her father has multiple children from multiple women. So as you can see, the similarities, this is the reason why she had no problem picking up NBA Youngboy. She's seen her father has, multiple children. So it has become normal to her to see that there's nothing wrong with being with a man that has multiple children from multiple females, and if it's more than one baby mama, to me, it's multiple. You don't have to have 3, 4 kids to be a father that has multiple children. Just like you don't have to be a mother, a woman that has 5, 6 children that have multiple baby daddies. If you got more than one baby daddy, you have multiple baby fathers. Call it what you want to call it, but that's how I see about it. So again, she's picked up a man that's similar, has a lot of similar character traits that her father has. So, like I stated, he has more than one baby mama, and there's not enough of black men and black women that aren't coaching their black sons and their black daughters. If you are a parent and you have a young black man, or if you have a young black woman, son or daughter, doesn't matter, you need to be letting them know that if they meet another young man or another young man or another young woman who already is a father, already a mother of more than one, that already is a big indication that you're dealing with they're dealing with someone that's irresponsible. If my daughter comes to me and tells me she's talking to a guy and he already has 2, 3 kids and he's around her same age range, my daughter's 19. So she tells me that she's dating a guy that's 19, 20, and he already has 2, 3 baby mamas. I'm going to let her know up front. I'm not going to encourage her to be with him, because my thing is, if he already has two different baby mamas, that's already letting you know how irresponsible he is. Now, one time is already bad enough, but give and take, we all have done things when we were young. We all been young and dumb. Some of us just been lucky not to get caught up, but we all have made some bad decisions. But for you to go a second round, especially a third round, you just straight irresponsible. And the fact that nobody was able to convince Yaya that, she shouldn't put herself in a position to get pregnant from another young man that's going to cause her to be the fifth or fourth baby mama. Somebody should have addressed that to her. Now, I don't know what type of relationship Yaya has with her father. It doesn't seem like a very good one, because evidently she doesn't respect anything that he says, because when he, you know, went to talk to her about that whole situation that went down when she attacked NBA young boys, side chick, baby mama, whatever. And he bonded her and got her out of jail. And he told her that, she don't need to be dealing with NBA young boy. Just goes to show you how much she has no respect for her father, because she went right back. It ain't wasn't even a good 24 hours. And she was already right back with NBA young boy as soon as her father put up all his money to bail her out of jail. And that's the curse sometimes. That's why it's not good to come from families that got a lot of money, because you feel like no matter what you do wrong, you got parents, that got money that can back you up. Sometimes when you broke and you in a struggle, it makes you more humble, and you got to think twice, because you can't afford to put yourself in certain positions. But because her father is this millionaire or whatever, she didn't feel like she had to abide to what he said. She felt like, hell, you got the money. If you bond me out this time, you'll bond me out again. So she got right back with this young man, after he disgraced her by having another female at his house, knowing he was supposed to be dealing with her. She ran after him anyway. Now, to add insult to injury, around that time, supposedly, after that whole incident went down with Yaya and NBA Youngboy's baby mama. Supposedly at that time when she got bonded out of jail and she called herself creeping with him again, somehow, some way they stopped dealing with each other. He was already talking to somebody. He started talking to somebody else right away. It was all over Instagram. It was all over Facebook. He had no remorse for the situation he allowed her to be in. And unfortunately, again, this is Floyd Mayweather's daughter. This is a young woman who has also witnessed her father disrespect women as well. So she probably didn't see nothing wrong. I'm sure she felt some type of way when she found out, NBA young boy, it ain't even been a good couple of days since she'd been out of jail, and already he was creeping with the next chick. And even then, she didn't have enough respect or dignity to leave him alone after he humiliated her, after he put her in a situation which wasn't his fault. That was her fault when she went over there. And she could have did life behind that. She could have did some serious prison time in event if the girl would have got killed or if something major would have happened. But because her father has money, she was able to dodge that bullet or whatever and get out of that. But again, this doesn't take away the fact that she is so eager and so desperate, a daughter of a millionaire who can pretty much get any young man she wants, but yet this is the man she chooses to run behind. You know why? Because this man is the epitome of another Floyd Mayweather Jr. The only difference is Floyd Mayweather is a boxer, and yes, he does have way more money, but him and young NBA boy are both very pretty much the same. They both cut from the same cloth. Now, back to the similarities with Floyd Mayweather and NBA YoungBoy. Like I mentioned before, they both have multiple children. NBA YoungBoy has one, two, three, four. He has four children. Now, he did say one was not his, but because he got attached to the little boy and because he has the money, he went ahead and he decided to take on that little boy anyway. But nevertheless, he has more than one child biologically. Um, Floyd Mayweather has four children and two baby mamas. Okay, so like I said, still the proof is in the pudding. Not only that, we haven't mentioned the other women he didn't get pregnant. He's known to be in multiple relationships, which is just as bad as having multiple baby mamas. Only difference is there's no kids entitled. Now, the next point is they both are very cocky, as I stated. We all know Floyd Money Mayweather loves to display his money. We know that he loves to walk around with his, I guess, $20,000 Louis Vuitton bag with millions or hundreds of dollars in it. Okay, he loves to showboat his money. He loves to parade his money. He loves to walk around with cold, hard cash on him, which I think is very dangerous, especially being a celebrity. And people are so hateful and mean spirited these days. God bless his soul. That's what happened to Extension. That's what happened to a lot of these stars who start doing really well. Same thing with Nipsey Hussle. These stars, these celebrities that are really doing good, that got a whole lot going for themselves. There's always a hater out there that's waiting for the opportunity for you to slip so they can take you down. So Floyd Mayweather has been very fortunate, and it may have a lot to do with he always keeps an entourage with him. But even still, people out here so crazy they don't care if you have an entourage; they'll try you anyway. So, um, he loves to showboat his money. And ironically, NBA young boy is the same way. He loves to flash his money. Like I said, both of these men are very cocky individuals. This is why y'all got with NBA young boy, because he's cocky just like her dad. He loves to flash his money just like her dad does. So of course she wants to be with a millionaire man just like her dad. I mean, I get it. When you with a man, when you are born in a family with a father that's that large and financially well off, it would only make sense that you don't get with some, corner boy, a thug boy. You know what I mean? Of course, you would want somebody similar to that level. I mean, it's one thing if she would have picked up another athlete that's in the NBA or somebody that's been drafted into the NFL, but she chose to get with this rapper, and who already has a reputation of being a male Jezebel and dealing with all kind of females. This is who she chose to be with. And it was bad enough that she chose to be with them. That's one thing. Because we all go through that bad boy phase. I think every woman has went through that one a thug phase. And then when you get with a thug and then he knocks you upside your head, you find out it's not as great as you thought it was. Then you realize as you mature that, okay, that's not what I really want. And then you back up. But in this case, she's pregnant from him. So there's no phase at this point. Even if she realizes that he's not the man for her, guess what? They have this lifetime commitment. And I really think at this point, y'all became so desperate that she intentionally got pregnant, because that is the new thing that a lot of young black women are doing now. Back in our day, we just wanted guys to date us, take us out, show us a good time. But these young women today, that's not good enough anymore. They don't want a boy to just like them. They've gotten to a desperate new level as to in which they would rather be pregnant. They want to have a child from a guy they really want, not even understanding that, this is a lifetime commitment. Once y'all have a child together, this guy is forever in your life. And if you already had jealousy streak issues with him, having other females in his mansion, his condo, whatever, y'all break up and y'all got this child together. Yeah, you may feel like you got a one up because you got a child. Now you may feel like, okay, now you have a permanent spot in his life. He can never get rid of you. But this is the other catch 22 that a lot of these young women are not understanding. When you get pregnant from these guys that you want so bad, and you reach this new level of desperation to the point you want to get pregnant, now you got to deal with the fact that you can have a child from him and he still don't even want you. Hell, her father did it. Her father had children from two different women, and I know for a fact, I remember when Josie, that was the mother of his child who died, I remembered how infatuated she was with Floyd Mayweather, because she was on one of those reality shows, I think called Hollywood Exes. or whatever. It came on VH1, and she did like a little pop-up appearance. And I remember how infatuated she was with Floyd Mayweather. She was in love with that man, and she said that suppose at the time she was still sleeping with him. She was still involved with him here and there, even though he was dealing with several other women on her. And see, that's going to be the slap in the face for y'all, because she's going to find out, yeah, you got a child from Floyd Mayweather. I mean, from NBA young boy, but it's not gonna keep him confined to you. You're just gonna be another number in a bunch of baby mamas. Your child is gonna be child number 5. Your child is gonna have to wait to get his attention whenever he feels like it. Not only that, for you to be so in love with him, you're gonna have to deal with the fact that you're gonna have a child from a man who may end up being with several other women on you. And you know it's gonna happen because NBA young boy is a young man. He's young. I don't even think he's in his 30s yet. So if she thinks that she's going to be his one and only, I mean, if she's not his one and only, because of course he already had other children, whatever. But if she thinks that she's going to be his last final resting place, she's sadly mistaken. Because that's the thing about it. The thing that a lot of these young women are not understanding is that when you have children from these men, you got to these young boys, you got to realize y'all are young. He has many, many more years to go. So, and there's many, many more women and females that he's going to run through. So you could still end up having to deal with the fact he's going to have other children from other women because he's still young. Or he may end up marrying somebody else totally different years down the line, may not marry you or any of his other baby mamas because he may feel like, hell, I already got kids from them. So I don't need to marry them, because I've seen that happen in many cases. I've seen guys marry women that don't have not nil child from them. Meanwhile, they got all these 5, 6 baby mamas and they ain't married none of them. Get with a woman who doesn't have any children from them. That'll be the wife they marry. That'll be the one they end up marrying. And then once they marry that one and lock her in, they'll do it the right way and then turn around and have children from that one. While you still holding on to the baby mama title, he done moved on with his life, got himself a wife. It may take him damn near his 50s or his late 40s, and a lot of times you live your life fast. Sometimes you settle down even quicker. You start living your life fast at 20 in your 20s and your middle 30s. You might start settling down by the time you get 40 compared to a person that didn't live their life so fast and so wild. They may be ready to settle down a little later because they didn't do it all yet. But when you've done everything, especially at a young age, sometimes life catches up with you really fast. And he may get to a point where, you know what, I got 7 baby mamas. I'm tired of all these baby mamas. I want a wife. And that's really the title you thought you was going to get once you got pregnant from him, only to find out that you just another baby mama. So what y'all is going to find out in the future, she basically cheated herself and cheated her child. Whenever a woman decides to have a child from a man that has multiple children, and the same thing for a man decides to have decides to have a child from a woman who has multiple children, he kind of cheats himself off of giving himself the advantage of starting a family from scratch with a woman that doesn't already have prior baggage, and vice versa. As a woman dealing with a man who has children and you don't have any, you put yourself at a disadvantage, because he's already experienced the pleasure of being a father more than once. So you're not giving him something different that other women haven't already given him. So you just kind of put yourself in a disadvantage. That is not like a new experience for both of y'all to share together. He's already shared that with other females, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like you're just another number, basically. So nevertheless, as I stated, this young man has a lot of similar characteristics as her father. He doesn't have any respect for women. Same thing like Floyd Mayweather. NBA young boy, he was with another young woman who kind of was with him in the beginning when his career started off. I cannot remember her name, and forgive me, I don't keep up with these young stars, these young celebrities. But I remember the last young woman he was with before he got with Yaya. He would bring her on a stage with him, and he would intentionally let other females grab up on him in front of her just to get a rise out of her. And you know who she would get upset with? Not NBA Youngboy. She would get upset with his fans. And the only reason why these females was disrespecting her like that and grabbing up on his dick and package in front of her and stuff, because even they knew how much he did not respect her. And the thing is, he didn't try to, get these females off of him. You can just tell he enjoyed it. He liked every bit of it. He liked other women disrespecting her just so he can get the attention. So he's always had a reputation of, being he's always been had a reputation of being disrespectful. Now keep in mind though, he is young. NBA young boy is young. So a lot of stuff he's doing is things that young men his age would do. He is, 21 years old. So what he's doing has to be expected until he gets caught up in a situation and he comes up on the wrong female and she ends up stabbing his ass instead of stabbing the females he's dealing with. This can happen. A lot of these young women, and it's unfortunate that his mother and other people aren't telling him you got to be careful. We're going around here playing with these females' emotions. But if you listen to how his mother talked, it'll give you a big indication as to why he the way he is. His mother is what I would consider, you know, uh, how can I say this respectfully? Well, there's really no respectful way I can say it, but even you could tell his mother is basically an old school hood rat. Just the way she conducts herself. When the media is coming, is when the media and the tabloids is eating her son up. She likes to do these live streams and she talks really ratchet. She talks like a project chick. She just a hot ass mess. But NBA young boy, once you meet his mother, that's a clear indication why he's pretty much the way he is. And there's no hope. Sometimes children are doomed from the womb based on the type of parents that brought them in this world. And if you got a mother or a father who already don't know nothing, and those are the only ones you have as far as an example, um, you very well going to end up coming into this world lost. And basically, you're going to have to be self-taught. You're teaching yourself mostly everything. So, um, yeah, she's a single parent, so we can do the math there. You know how some of these, not all, so, but for the most part, these young black women who raise these sons, we already know how the majority of them come up. Now, it's not the case for the all black single mothers, but the majority of single black mothers who raise sons, their sons end up becoming better males to society. And that's just what he is. He's a better male. Yes, he's a millionaire, but your income in the bank doesn't define if you're alpha male or a beta male. He's still a beta male. He's a beta male that happens to be a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But as I stated, Floyd Mayweather's daughter is expecting a boy. So for her to be this far along in her pregnancy, and that incident went down when she got into that physical altercation April of 2020, within the same year. So as you can notice, when all of that went down, she must have went to bed with him right away, got pregnant from him because, like I said, she's not too far. She's pretty far along in her pregnancy, and it takes a baby 9 months to be produced, so conceived. So do the math on that. So she's been screwing this young man raw, unprotected, and it all started from the fact when she caught that female in his mansion, and he didn't even have enough respect to lay low after that incident happened. He was already talking to other females, posted up with other bras on his Instagram page or whatever, and I guess she just couldn't handle it. I guess she couldn't handle the pressure of losing him, so she made sure she ran back over there and got pregnant from him. And I guess at this point she was determined to do whatever she could to keep NBA young boy in her life. But what she's going to find out is babies don't keep a man. If that's the case, we wouldn't have so many single mothers. If you think getting pregnant is the answer to making a man be with you, to making a man stay in your life, she's basically setting herself up for major disappointment. And it's very, very sad that Floyd Mayweather could not talk any sense into his daughter and make her see that she was going to make a bad mistake. But then again, you have to practice what you preach. You can't be telling your children to stay away from certain type of women when you are that woman that you're telling your son to stay away from. You can't be telling your daughter to stay away from certain type of men when you are that man that you're trying to persuade your daughters to stay away from. So I think this is a very unfortunate situation. Mayweather has not spoken much up on it, and of course he's not. He basically, put it out there like a happy grandfather. Yes, my daughter is expecting a child from NBA young boy, because at this point he pretty much knows he can't do a damn thing with her. His daughter is just as stubborn as he is, and NBA young boy is just as cocky as he is. So this is one fact fight he was not going to win. He's always been a champion, but not in this sense. He was not going to get his daughter to listen, and he was not going to get her to stay away from NBA YoungBoy, and he's not going to be able to keep NBA YoungBoy away from his daughter. So at this point, he already know he's pretty much lost this battle, so he can't do nothing but go with the flow because again, his daughter is cocky like he is, and so is his grandchild supposedly father. So um that's what a lot of men have to understand. And it's not to throw shade at men, but just keep in mind that the way you treat women and your daughter witness how you treating women, your daughter is going to end up picking a man just like you, because her definition of a man is going to be based on what her father has taught her. So you can't be around here dogging women and disrespecting women and beating up on women. And then when your daughter run into a dude that's beating up on her or cursing her out, and you can't understand why she's not listening to you, why she won't stay away from this dude that's disrespectful to her. Well, if she's set up there the majority of her youth, seeing you mistreat her mother, seeing you disrespect other women, basically you are programming abnormal, um, unacceptable behavior from a man that's really not considered a man. You can't preach to your daughter to stay away from certain men. You don't need to deal with no bum dude. You don't need to deal with this no man that's cheating on you with other women, especially when your daughter has witnessed you cheating on her mother with several women. Now, give and take, they wasn't married, but behind closed doors, I could only imagine, you know, how much y'all has witnessed her father say and do to her mother. Just seeing how cocky he is in general, I can only imagine what he has said and done, in her presence. And with all due respect, this is nothing new under the sun. This has been going on for years. Um, God bless her soul, Bobby Christina. Bobby Christina has seen her mother, Whitney Houston, and her father, Bobby Brown, have a toxic, volatile marriage for years. And when her mother died, she ended up dealing with another young man, and they had a very toxic and volatile relationship as well. Now, Bobby Christina, let me get the name of her boyfriend at the time. I forgot. And he just died himself. Uh he just died himself not too long ago. Yeah, his name was Nick Gordon. Yeah, he died not too what he died, yeah, he died at the age of 30, from heroin. And he was 30 years old. He was 30 years old. Like I said, you see the similarity. Nick Gordon and they said Nick Gordon and Bobby Christina used to get high together, used to smoke and drink together. Okay. Didn't Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston outside that party? They used to get high and drink. Bobby Christina was exposed to all of that for years. So even when her parents separated and her mother died, what did she resort to? She resorted to dealing with a guy who basically gave her the same kind of relationship she was used to seeing her mother and father had before her mom passed away. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, a lot of the time, same thing for women. The way you treat your husband, you teach your son that it's acceptable for another woman to disrespect him or whatever the case may be. As parents, we have to realize that the way you carry yourself in front of your children in a relationship, the way you disrespect other women, the way you disrespect other men, it really, really has an influence on what your son or what your daughter considers as what's unacceptable and what he or she should not tolerate when you comfortably um produce that type of character in front of them all of the time. If you're in a toxic relationship, if you are an abusive woman to your husband, if you are an abusive husband to your wife, and you have children that are being raised in that same environment where they are witnessing all of your physical, verbal, and emotional abuse, they are going to be drawn to men and women who carry themselves in that manner because you have made that normal to them. They're not going to know how to receive a good man or a good woman that will not verbally abuse them, will not physically abuse them, will not emotionally abuse them because you have not gotten them accustomed to that type of environment. But if you're an abusive parent, if you're an abusive man, or if you're a toxic ass woman, you exposing your children to that type of toxic behavior, that is going to make them adopt those same character traits. And here it is, you end up with a disaster. So that's basically what happened. Floyd Mayweather's his daughter ended up with a man just like him. If you really look into the situation, you will see young NBA young boy has a lot of character traits, just like Floyd Mayweather. So men, just be mindful of the character and the behavior that you display in front of your daughters. If you know you a player, you know you a male Jezebel, you know you would not want your daughter to end up with a man like you. Whatever you do, you need to protect her from that. She does not need to see how you treat her mother, how you treat your wife, because the mistreatment that you are displaying in front of her is going to become her norm. She's going to get with other guys that are just like that, and there's not going to be nothing you can tell her. You can't tell her to stay away from men just like you. And that's why, in this case, this is one fight that Floyd Mayweather was not going to win, and it's going to continue to keep rolling down the hill. It's going to continue to keep getting toxic because NBA young boy has a whole lot of growing up to do, and he's not going to grow up anytime soon. Not only that, now there's a child involved. So Lord, definitely keep the Mayweathers in prayer, honey, because they're going to have their work. Definitely has proven to her he has no respect for her. But this just goes to show even a woman that comes from a family, has a father that's a millionaire, there's just certain voids in our lives that money cannot fulfill. And evidently, with everything that her father could afford to buy for her and do for her, it was not enough to make her feel whole as a woman because, again, she decided to get pregnant from a better male. So anyway, y'all leave y'all opinion below. Let me know what y'all think about this situation. Do you think this is Floyd Mayweather's karma for how he treated women? Or do you think this is y'all's karma for not listening to her father, for being desperate, being thirsty, wanting to get a one up and have a child from him? That way she can have an attachment to him and figure that will always keep NBA young boy pretty much bonded to her. So anyway, leave y'all a comment below. Let me know what y'all think. I'm going to be uploading some more material for the rest of this week since I got a couple of days off. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to get ready to shut it down. It is your girl, your diva and knowledge, Lady Mocha. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always bake you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all take care. Be blessed.